anticipated to continue going up because there's a lot of uncertainty coming into the economic arena of the US. So things are gonna get pretty wild soon. I'm really excited to see what they do about Trump saying he's not going to do a virtual debate. Trump's like, no way. Trump's like, no, we're not going to do the virtual debates. It's absolutely ridiculous. Not going to do the virtual debate. And I think it's true. Like, the only reason he doesn't want to do the virtual debate is because Joe Biden, his team is going to feed him talking points. Hey, Joe Biden, say this, say that. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Ooh, gold 4-hour chart. Oh, wow, that's a nice hold from 1884. So I think this was taken right over here for price to continue heading up. So you're anticipating price to continue up towards 1950 and 1960s, 1956. I think that's doable. Looking how where the fundamentals are heading here with a lot of uncertainty coming in. I think that's doable. That's thanks to Kervin. Um, why is only taking 1 or 2 trades so important? Surely a good setup is a good setup. Yep, good setup is a good setup because when you take 1 trade and 2 trades, now here's the thing, right? As humans, we can only make 1 or 2 emotional decisions in a day, like really important decisions in a day. And whenever we're making decisions around money, those are emotional decisions we're making. Whenever you're making emotions around money, those are very important decisions we're making. It's going to affect our emotions, right? So when you're taking 1 or 2 trades, your emotions are still intact. But as you move into the third trade and the fourth trade, that's where your judgment starts to get a little cloudy. You can't think straight because you're trying to see that, okay, now I'm in the fourth trade and the fifth trade. Maybe I'm in losses right now and I'm really compounding the losses. I mean, think about it. If you look at the stats, right? If you look at the stats, all the stats are that whenever you overtrade, you're always losing. That's it. There's nothing more. Whenever you overtrade, you're always losing. So you have to stay calm. For me, taking 1 or 2 trades, it worked beautifully. It still works beautifully. I've made thousands and thousands of dollars, just by taking 1 or 2 trades. In the start, it was slow. I agree, it was slow, but as time went on, it worked perfectly fine. We have another question like this here. 1 or 2 trades per day. It only works if you use a minimum lot size of 20. Your account size have to be big enough if you are in this industry for money. I think that is absolutely wrong. I think you don't understand what trading is. When you look at my history, you look that I started from 10-cent lots. I started from 20-cent lots, 10-cent lots. I've traded 5-cent lots. I've traded $1 lots. If you go through my Instagram page, the link is in the description area. You go towards last year. Last year, April, I started with 1 lots. So it took me a whole year to come up to 15 lots and 20 lots. It wasn't from the get-go. I mean, all these people saying, "Oh yeah, 1, 2 trades is bad, and you need to take more trades to make money." Man, very soon you're gonna learn that that's not the case. I mean, people who say those things are the ones who aren't making any money. I'm just gonna say it that way because 1 or 2 trades, it honestly works. I mean, if you look at all the good traders out there, you'll never see them trade like 10 trades a day or 6 trades a day. They only focus on one session, they focus on one pair, and they focus on 1 or 2 moves. I mean, if you read all the hedge fund stories here, there are a lot of hedge fund stories you'll find on Google. And if you read those stories, and I used to read those stories when I was going to rough patches, I used to read all kinds of stories. And there was the one story in particular I was reading, and there was this guy, and he manages a hedge fund, and they have like 6 traders, right? They have 6 traders. And he talks about how every trader has a specific thing that they're just waiting for. A specific thing they wait for and they execute on that thing. That's it. They only focus on one specific thing. They're not focusing on how price is going down, so they're going to take a buy or take a sell, or how price moves up, they're going to take a buy or take a sell, or they will look at any 5-minute EMA crossover, or they'll look at a fib rejection on 15-minute or 30-minute all the time. No, that's not trading. That's madness. Trading is you're waiting for price to come to you, and then you're executing to see if you're gonna have a profitable trade or not. It's kind of like, if you watch um, documentaries, right? If you watch wildlife documentaries, you will see that when the predators, what they do is they watch the prey, right? For a set amount of time, they will watch their prey, they will study its movements, and then they will attack. They won't attack like 20 times a day. They won't attack like 6, 7 times a day. They maybe attack like once a day or twice a day, and that's it. If they catch it, they catch it, or they just wait for the next day. Um, yeah, man. It doesn't concern with lots, but with the percentage you bring home. You can open one lot times trade and make 10% per month. I can guarantee you in that 1 to 2 years, compound interest, your account will be huge. That's absolutely true. Kevin said something really amazing over here, that focusing on percentages over time, it will grow. Why does the resistance zone at 137,200 matter? I know it's a zone on the 4 hour, but the 1 hour candle has a clean break. Why does it still hold? 137,200. Yeah, because there's a resistance here. That's why. There's a resistance here. Is trading your only income? I think trading generates 60% of my income. All the other things I do on the side, I expense them for trading. Basically, like let's say last year I did around, hypothetical number, let's say last year I did 50,000 in trading, right? Let's say I made 50,000 in trading last year. And let's say from my teaching and education side, I brought in, let's say 10,000, you know, and the time spent in, so basically what happens is that the withdrawals from the brokerage, they come in my company account, right? So my company is basically handling trading, it comes in my company account. And then the company hires me as an educator to teach, to do live streams, to spend time over here, to spend time on Slack. So that time spent is billed to my company. So when that time is billed to my company, that counts as an expense. So instead of paying taxes on 50,000, now I'm paying taxes on less than 50,000, because maybe let's say 20,000 is being spent on Raja Banks to spend time on the live streams, to spend time on webinars and Slack and stuff like that. So those things I do to mitigate my taxes. And then, obviously we have Magic Keys. Obviously, I have some, I have I have a stake in two other companies too. So, that's the freedom things bring, but only I think when you really start making money in trading, you can use this as a vehicle to fund all other projects. Right now I'm trying to fund my real estate portfolio, so I'm trying to get into that in the next 2 years. It's going to take time.
But you're gonna make it.
Yes. Someone said 50,000 times 8. No, there's a, yeah, there's a hypothetical number. But you always have to be smart with the money you're making. I mean, because I know that if trading is going to be the only income, there's going to be a lot of tax being paid on it. Lots of tax. So there were a lot of things I had to learn. When it comes to money, there were a lot of things I had to learn: how to protect it, how to save it, how to start other things so that you can count those as expenses. I think that's why when people make money, that's why they have other things on the go, because those things they count as expenses. And when you have expenses, you can begin to, like, pay less tax. Someone is saying that's tax evasion. I think you're a dumbass and you don't understand how the corporate world works. That's not tax evasion. That's how Trump paid $750 in taxes.
He's smart.
Man, yeah. Like, bro, when I saw that, I was like, man, I need his accountant. I need.
Bro, all the broke people are getting mad that he only paid 700 in taxes too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm looking at a $130,000 tax bill for 2020.
Woo!
Yeah, and when I saw that, I'm like, man, I want to pay $750.
Dude, so now that we're on the tax, topic,
Yeah.
I know. So I'm actually moving to Nevada, and I don't think they have any capital gains tax there,
Hmm. So what's happening?
as opposed to California. I mean, paying 14%, 15%.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty interesting.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Someone here mentioned, can you use your previous losses over the years as expenses? Yes. Yes. Every loss I take, I try to force it into expenses. The commissions you pay in trading, the commissions you see on your MetaTrader, you can also use that as expenses. Man, I try to use anything and everything as expenses, staying in the legal circle. Because sooner or later, if you lie to them, man, they will come for you. If you lie to them, they will find out and they will come for you. And you can't escape it. It's like a mafia, you can't escape the mafia. Um, last year I filed my tax return for, I think my liability came up to like 12,000, so I filed it. They sent me a letter. They said, "Hey, listen, we did a reassessment. We did a reassessment of your thing, and you don't owe 12,000, you owe 15,000." I was like, "Oh, thanks, guys." Mafia said you owe more, man. And you can't fight them, You're just like, okay, it is what it is. Just gotta deal with it. I have a question regarding GJ zone and when to consider the zone as clean traffic. All right, let's take a look at this. So looking at 137,100 down over here to 137,200 up over here, should we worry about the traffic on the red zone? Or in this case, just need to look at the last candle in that traffic to consider clean traffic. So basically, the thing over here is the price was ranging here, right? And this range was broken with the clean candle coming down. So if you're looking at this zone as a clean traffic, the only reason I'm not looking to execute in this area is because there's a probability that price may start ranging within these two zones. There's a probability. So that's why I'm staying away from it. And even though if I try to take a trade here, this is not a big range at all. This is like what was it? This is like a 10 pip range over here. Yeah, 10, 11, 12 pip range over here. So it's pretty small for me to take a trade in here. So I'm willing to sit out of this range, and I want to see a break and close above 137,200 for me to take a trade for price to continue heading up. That's something I'm going to look for. And for me to wait for that, if price just continues moving without, closing or giving me confirmation, then it is what it is. You know, missed it. After owning a business, you can tax write off a lot of things. Just say it's for business and you won't get taxes on it, right? For example, if you buy a car, can't you just say it's a business vehicle? Yes. So, like, when you have a corporation, you can write off a lot of things. Your internet bill you can write off, your phone bill you can write off, the commissions you pay in trading you can write off, you can write off the losses, you can write off dinners, you can write off your lease payments for your car. Man, you can write off clothing. I write off clothing now too. Trips, you take trips out of the country, you can write them off too. The entire London boot camp I had, that whole boot camp was a write-off. The whole thing. Every every pound I spent in England, that was all write-off. Everything. Gas, write-off, it's amazing, man. Like once you start a corporation, once you start dealing with your business, and there are a lot of things. How do you write off clothing? Because I bought clothing to present my company in the UK, or present my company in Miami, or present my company here in Ontario when I go out for dinners or when I go out for like to meet people. So that's a business expense, because I'm representing my company, and my company is giving me clothing to present themselves. So it's expenses. At the same time, what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to open up a marketing company. So that marketing company is basically going to buy me a car as a business. So that's going to be a business expense. So like there are a lot of things you can do. You just need a good accountant. I have a nice accountant now. My next goal is to get Trump's accountant. So, so I can pay next to nothing.
Sheesh.
Um, what's this? You kind of finesse with write-offs. Anything can be a write-off almost. Why can't you just write off though? Yeah, the thing is, also you can't go overboard with write-offs because they will come back and say, okay, like you know what, proof, give us proof how this is a write-off, and then you got to give them proof. Do you pay commissions even if you're trading a loss? Yes. Commissions are basically paid as soon as you open the trade. How would you draw your zones for potential sells? Just wondering for learning reasons because I see a lot of support wicks on the 30-minute, but the 1 hour is making clean traffic. So basically on a 30-minute, I would want to see a candle breaking and closing below 136. Yeah, this area right over here, 136,950. Break and close below here because take a look at this, right? Now we're in a very interesting situation at this point. This candle came down, closed above. This candle came down, closed above. This candle came down, closed above. So hence we have a support formed at this point. This candle rejected. We have a support formed still. This candle, it broke below the lows and it came back up. So this also respected support. So now you want a candle to close maybe something like this. If you get a candle closing like this, then you can anticipate the next candle to continue down to the bottom of the range. That's the trade I'm waiting for. In the opposite sense, what I'm waiting for is for price to come up over here, 137,200, break above, and maybe print a candle, closing like this, kind of breaking up. So that gives me some confidence that, okay, maybe the next candle can continue moving up to fill this range. So these are the two scenarios I'm waiting for. Buys over here or sells over here. If it happens on Friday, that's awesome. If it doesn't happen, then it is what it is, right? We can't do anything about it.
So in moments like these, when you see such a large wick, like previously printed, what going through your mind? What are you looking for? What are you watching out for?
This wick right over here?
Yes.
So this wick just basically tells me that even though like when we were watching it, price just moved quick and came back up, right? So let's say if you're coming to the charts right now, so you don't know how price moved down over here. All you see is this wick. So when you're reading this wick, you're saying that, okay, candle tried breaking below 136,950. It broke all these lows over here, but for some reason, it couldn't close below 136,950. So it closed back in the range. So you're like, okay, like, you know what? If it closed back in the range, it did exactly what the rest of the candles did. So maybe, an impulse entry at this point won't make any sense.
Okay.
Maybe because, like, when candles comes down here, you have to wait for the candle to close, because if you don't wait for a candle to close, there's a probability that the next candle can do what this candle did, just leave a wick and close back in the range. So
Okay.
what I'm thinking here is that I would want to see a candle break and close below, because if I can see a candle break and close below, then I can say that, okay, like, you know what? This candle did what all these candles couldn't do. And what it did was it broke and closed below 136,950. And then that can give you confidence that price is going to continue down.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of waiting over here now. When you open a company for trading, do you open an additional company for something such as marketing or open it under the entity as DDBA? I'm not sure about DDBA, but for that you have to talk to your accountant, because if you live in another state, they have different rules and regulations. So you have to, for specifics, you have to talk about that. But what I do know is that in the States, you can basically open a LLC and work through that. In the UK, it says if you say you're amateur gambling, you don't pay tax in Forex. Yeah, UK is different.
Amateur
The
gambler.
US is exactly the same with an LLC.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. For taxes, correct.
What happened?
What happened de qué, compadre?
Oh my god, I got scared. I'm like, did I go deaf?
Everybody left. Why?
No, man. You tell me, Captain America.
Captain America.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. I haven't slept a wink. Oh man.
Any plans for today, Dogface?
Dogface 208. I be riding on my skate. Nah, man, just work out. Try to go to the gym as soon as I'm done here. I back the U, and I shouldn't be saying this because Raquel's gone. Oh, you shouldn't be trading EU.
I know.
And I'm trying to go to the gym early, but my shoulder hurts. I was lifting at 75 yesterday, and I failed to lift it up with my knee.
Oh, jeez.
And the moment that I popped it up, I heard like a little on my left shoulder. And I dislocated this shoulder at least 13 times. Going for the 14 already.
Hey, Cristian, ¿cómo estás, man?
Pero
¿Qué
si
pasa,
hablan
Kerwin?
español acá.
Ajá.
Hombre, normal. ¿Qué tal, Kerwin?
Bien, mijo, bien.
Cristian, boludo.
Boludo. No, yo no soy de Argentina.
Oh.
I'm from Alicante,
Oh, España.
Spain.
Joder.
Yeah.
Joder.
Joder, tío. ¿Dónde os habéis metido todo este tiempo?
Joder, tío.
Estábamos en el Gulag, pero ahora ya nos hemos venido a la parte buena.
Ah,
America. He pulled up
Yo.
a money heist. El
That's great,
maestro.
man.
Estabas
Yeah,
en el Gulag Scan.
¿Cómo?
Que antes estabas en el Gulag Scammer.
Yeah.
No, no está allá, loco.
But I'm living in Ireland.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the captain's back.
Okay. There's almost a dozen Wix Online, Instagram, a lot of scammers stealing your brand. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so we got 8 minutes left for this hour to close. I welcome everybody to a Friday where there will be no trading done today. Welcome, welcome. I think Fridays are where everyone's nerves are tested. There are a lot of people who are not here on Friday because you can see with the attendance is low today.
Rakil.
Hey.
Yeah, man. So I'm off now. But on Wednesday, right, I didn't do any analysis. I didn't do it. I was sitting on the train, right, and I was watching the team, and I just copied your trade. I didn't even think of that. I just calculated the risk and took it as you took. I didn't do any analysis. Didn't do anything. And then I took the trade and then managed it as you managed it.
Oh, what was it? Was it a loss that happened?
No, it was a winner. It was a winner. It's the one where you did, reduce half and every, the 30 minutes.
And it was the scariest trade ever.
Oh yeah, it took a long time.
Yeah. And the thing is, I didn't know what was kind of going on because, when you do your own analysis, you have a kind of background. You know what's going. You get a feel for the movement, right? I saw you take the jet, and I took it as well. I didn't do anything. And I was in it for ages. I was thinking,
So you're just following the commentary as you go along.
Yeah, as I was going along, and I wasn't really concentrating because I didn't quite know what was going on. I just followed it.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man. Yeah, the Gulag is saying, send him over here. This guy.
All right, I'm off, guys. Thank you very much for the week, Rakil team. Thank you.
Take
care. Take care, man. Stay safe, stay strong.
Stay safe, stay strong, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Hey, can you give me some tips on opening a corporation in Canada while living in Punjab? I don't know, buddy. You gotta open a corporation in Punjab.
It's a lot of paperwork, man.
ए मुंडा पंजाब तू आया ते कहंदा मैं corporation खोलनी कनाडा च.
Translate.
Pancho. A lot of people in the Gulag are gonna get mad.
Banter morning. Morning, bro.
A lot of people in the Gulag are gonna get mad, bro.
Yeah, like, oh shit.
No.
Yeah, man. Seriously, I mean, I don't even know how people think of these questions.
A lot of people in the Gulag from India, and I don't even know how they trade.
Yeah. We have a lot of fans from India and Pakistan, especially India. Like there are a lot of people who are big fans of Mac and Kervin and Sacha.
Send me weird messages too.
All right. Can you explain how you lose $100 to $200 and win $1,000 by being 1-to-1 if we have 0.01? I think to lose less is an art. To lose less is something you learn after losing a lot of money, because Sandra. because what happens is that for me, what happened was that I would always get frustrated that, okay, like when people talk about keep your losses small, how do you keep your losses small? Like, how does that really work? So when I started losing, like, let's say if I take a trade, right? Let's say, for example, okay, let's do a paper trade over here somewhere. let's take a look at GJ 30 minute. Okay, let's take a look at GJ 30 minute right here. And hypothetically speaking, let's say someone takes a buy at this point and they have their stop loss, let's say somewhere down over here. So let's say if you have your stop down over here, and down here your risk is negative $200. Perfect. Your entry is right over here, and you're anticipating price to continue moving bullish. So let's say that the next candle, it comes down. And if it breaks the low of the previous candle, now I'm going to look at that. I'm going to say, okay, like, you know what? If price is going to go up, it needs to create higher highs and higher lows to continue heading up, right? But if it's breaking the low of the previous candle, I may want to close 50% of my position. So when I close 50% of my position, now my total risk from negative 200, maybe it goes down to negative, let's say 125. You know, so now if price hits my stop loss, instead of losing 200, I'm losing negative 125. You know, so even then, if I see that the candle has closed bearish, now I'm saying that, okay, candle has closed bearish, it closed below resistance, there's a very low probability price is going to go up, so maybe I want to close my trade at that point, and instead of losing $200, I lost $125. You know, but if I don't apply those risk management techniques, then I'm always going to lose, you know, more money than what I anticipate. So it's very important to focus on. I think people focus on winning trades just way too much, just a little bit too much. You guys focus on winning trades. Focus on losing less. You know, because I mean, I don't know. I just focus on losing less. And when I focus on losing less, the winners I do have, they just look bigger compared to my losers. Can you tell Magic Key's history? So basically, we used to use a. So I don't know if you guys know this.
You should start with Once Upon a Time.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time, there was Raja Banks, and
I want you to.
What I used to use was, I used to use a simulator, and let me bring this up. Oh wow, look at this. Look at this. We have live streams from all the way from April, March, right? Look at this.
Yeah, and
February.
can you believe yesterday I had someone messaging me. It's like, yeah, I've been following your journaling. I want to know more about how you learn about how you trade. And I just discovered Wix Don't Lie. I'm like, dude, just go on YouTube. You got a shitload of video, guys. Click on videos.
Yeah, because look at this, right? So live streams from February, right? So if you count the months, we have February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, 8 months, right? 8 months worth of live streams are on YouTube. And this is proof that if you stick to just a certain time of the day, things are going to work out. You know, so if someone's been sticking to live streams, only trading like, 3 hours a day, 1 to 2 trades a day, you've seen some sort of progress. So let me just go back to what I was talking about here earlier. So basically, let's go to, how do you, sort by oldest to new. So we go to oldest to new. So let's open up this thing right over here. Okay.
Man, I watch all those.
Okay, so see this terminal? This terminal was what I wanted on like a remote control. So I was thinking, is there a way to get this terminal on like a device, something like this? If I have it on there, I think it's going to be pretty cool that I can just manage my trades without even have to touch my phone or touch my computer. So that really interested me. So what I did was I made an announcement on Instagram, and that announcement was hey, like, you know what, I'm looking to see how can I, if someone's able to program this on a calculator, I think it's going to be pretty amazing. So one person contacted me, and they were already working on something, and then I messaged him, and he sent me a prototype, and that prototype worked amazingly. Where's that prototype? It's right over here. So this was the first prototype we made, right over here. This was the first prototype we made. This came to me, it worked perfectly. So I'm like, hey, like, you know what, this is amazing. This is actually pretty amazing. And at that time, we're like, okay, like, you know what, let's see who can manufacture this for us. You know, like maybe one or two. So the whole problem was there was a funding issue, right? So obviously, I came as an angel investor. So we got those funding. We basically finalized on the design, the buttons, the things it will have. We also talked to. We did a bit of research. We talked to some traders like what they want to have on this thing, and we made it happen. So we made 3 copies of this. No, actually 4 copies of this. We made 4 copies of this. I have 1 copy. Ted has 1 copy. There's another person who has 1 copy. I can't name him. And there's another one who has. The owner has 1 copy too. You know, like my partner. Um, once this done, we're like, okay, like, you know what? Let's take a small risk. A small risk was, okay, let's manufacture like 100 of these, 100 magic keys, and let's see how they do. We ordered 100 magic keys. They sold in like a week and a half. You know, so fast forward from March, so far we've sold 2,500 magic keys. 2,500 magic keys. We're projecting 10,000 units by 2021. And it's not about like the sales or the money you're making. Of course, it's a business, you're making money from it. But the main idea was to really see, I mean, this I created for myself so I can manage risk for myself. And I think the people who are purchasing magic keys are the ones who kind of like think like me, you know, the thing. Because like, here's the thing. Whenever people start businesses, their first question is, oh, who's going to buy it? Like, you know, who's going to really understand it, who's going to appreciate it, this and that. But what we don't understand is that there are 7 billion people in the world, right? 7 billion people. If the person next to you, if they don't like the way you think, or if they don't like your ideas, there are millions and millions of people out there who will resonate with you, who will like your ideas. I know people who don't like Nike, but there are millions of people who love Nike. You know, I don't like Balenciaga, but there are people who like Balenciaga because they think like that. You know, so what I think is we've sold around 2,500 magic keys. There are millions of people who use MetaTrader. You know, so you gotta think of it this way. Whatever business you start, don't worry about what people are gonna think, what they're gonna say. Just understand there is someone out there who thinks like you, and they will purchase from you, and that's how your business is gonna grow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you look at GPJPY, I think GPJPY, this is the NY Open here. I think it should continue moving bullish here. I'm not going to take a trade here, it's a Friday, but this is something that was happening yesterday, right? Somewhere over here, yeah. This is what happened yesterday, right? Yesterday, price was ranging, and this candle started, and then we had to move up. You remember price was like in a range over here. We were in a range, and then this candle moved up. I think this is the same thing happening right over here. Consolidation right over here. So I think one of the 15-minute candles, if it's going to continue going up, it should respect the low to just continue going up. But if it doesn't, then it's Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday.
Yeah, it's not worth it taking any trades in that range. There's not much room to move.
Hey, thanks, Raja. Thanks to you, I made enough to start my own gasoline scent perfume company. Oh, beautiful.
Gasoline scent?
Gasoline
Yeah,
scent?
man. Yeah, some people like how gasoline smells.
Oh, I love it.
No.
I don't. I start.
I love it.
I start puking, man, if I smell gasoline.
Oh man, I love it.
See, there you go. There's your first customer over here.
Yeah,
Send me the link. Send me the link.
Send him the link. Maybe
The song.
maybe this person has competition out in the world. Let's see if this already exists. Oh, gasoline scent perfume.
No.
All right. Oh, we have. You got competition over here.
Holy.
Gasoline.
One now.
That's some redneck shit.
Yeah, that's some. I got gasoline on today. Wow. Halloween and holiday scented perfume lasts 2 to 3 days. Wow, that's a long time.
That's for when they go see their cousin.
Yo, Raja, what is that, man?
That's a gasoline scent perfume.
That's why you put on the mornings every day, bro.
That's for when you want to smell like a motorcycle.
Wow, I thought y'all was talking about that other gas for a minute.
No. Yeah, so basically you do this and then you smell. Yeah, you're right. You smell like a motorcycle or smell like a freshly filled up
Imagine, got different scents. Motorcycle.
Dude, I love race field smell though. It's amazing. But I wouldn't spray it on me.
Let's see here.
I mean, it makes sense if you work at let's say as a mechanic, and let's say you have some friends and they take you for whatever, for dinner, anything, to any good bar, so you're gonna spray a decent perfume on you. But as soon as you leave the bar going home, you're gonna need to spray with gasoline. That's sun, so you can get home and your wife is gonna be, yeah, he was working. Yeah, makes sense.
Kerwin is smart. He's been around the block.
Yeah, Kerwin knows all the tricks, man.
I mean,
it's got eight kids. What do you expect? Oh, this is a great question over here. Hey, Raja and team. In New York, I keep losing all my profits. More than that. But in London, I'm profitable. What shall I do? Any advice? I think you should just stop New York session. Yeah, just stop New York session. Because when I first started, I used to trade London session, New York session, and Asian session. And what would happen was that I would win in New York session, I would lose 50% of the profits in Asian session, and then I would lose everything in London session. And then I would come back at New York session, make money, lose 50% in Asian session, and lose the whole thing in London session. This was a whole cycle for 3 months. You know, I wasn't getting any sleep. I was stressed out. There was a lot of anxiety. So then I said, okay, like, you know what? Logically, if I'm losing in London session, it does not make sense for me to trade London session. So I stopped London session. I'm like, okay, perfect. Now I started to get a little bit of a comfortable, you know, with the profits. But still, Asian session was kind of like 50-50 there. You know, it wasn't completely win. So I had to make a very hard decision. That hard decision was to just stop Asian session, or maybe just, you know, trade maybe twice out of the week in the Asian session when things are really popping, you know. So, and then I stopped the Asian session, and my profitability went up, boom, because I only focused on the winning sessions. If you're only winning in the London session, just focus on London session. If you're winning only in New York session, just focus on New York session. Because think about this, man. Like, you need to be able to tell somebody that you are a master of one session and of one pair. That's it. There are a lot of guys here in our groups here who are masters of, let's say, gold, Euro JPY, Euro USD, USD CAD. You know, I don't have to be a master of all pairs because, to be honest, I'm not. You know, so once you get disciplined, you focus on 1 or 2 trades, you focus on one pair, you start to get good at that. So that, like, let's say sometime if there's going to be news, what I'm going to say, okay, there's news on USD CAD. Let me talk to this guy over here. He trades USD CAD a lot. Let me see what he thinks. Or there's news on gold. Okay, who trades gold a lot? Kervin trades gold a lot. Ted trades gold a lot. There's some other gentlemen here who trade gold a lot. So maybe I'm going to ask them about gold. You know, but I'm not going to, like, you know, deviate from the pair I'm profitable on, which is GJ. You know, I used to trade, man, 8 pairs at a time. It was just nasty.
Yeah, it's crazy because you most of the times are gonna miss the real moves on one pair, specific pair. For example, you start looking 6 pairs. Most likely you're gonna be watching these 2 or 3 pairs more, and then you tend to do some dumb stuff like taking trade too early and rushing trades, you know. And as long you took, let's say, 2 or 3 trades in different pairs, I mean, your account is gonna be like, man, I can't handle with this. So it's just scary. Don't do that to yourself. focus on one pair, master it, and then move to another one. And once you get like 2 or 3 pairs, that's it. No more than that.
Yeah.
For example, I used to trade UJ, so UJ basically didn't move anything like really good for me to make decent profits. So I moved to GJ. Once I mastered GJ, then I moved to gold and US 30. I mean, US 30 is a different story. That's completely different. I don't recommend any new trader to trade US 30. To be honest, it's just scary.
Yeah, US 30 is not a bless.
It's a wild horse, man.
Yeah.
There's someone, it's been a while. I didn't see. It's Monty.
Yeah, Chris, he does. He's now doing London.
Yeah, I know. But at first, when I started a couple months ago, he was always there in the morning for at least an hour or so. But it's been a while since I didn't see him.
He doesn't like us anymore.
Yeah.
No more love.
It's an old man.
No more love. Yeah, that's what I call it.
Oh, what's this? Sell your gasoline perfume in Philippines. Our citizen will buy it since our president recommended using it to disinfect face masks.
Oh.
It's pretty easy to burn someone, man. Someone using gasoline to disinfect the face mask, you put a lighter one time. Boom.
That's the thing. You can't smoke if you have the perfume on.
Yeah. Hey man, what do you think about people that teach swing trade but scalp? It's like saying, hey, what do you think about a person who teaches how to ride a horse but he always drives the car? Maybe you gotta ask. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go with that. I would want to go with someone who does what he teaches, basically. Hi Raja, I'm new. How can I start? You have just started.
Just started, yes.
It's a random ass.
Put the key in the ignition.
Bring that out of here, boy.
Hey, is your corporation federal or provincially registered?
Oh my god, they keep talking about
corporation. It's federal. It's on the federal level. It's federal. One thing I've done is I didn't put a name on it. It's a numbered corporation. But then there's an option where you can say it's operating as. Someone is saying, is Forex haram? No, Forex is not haram. The swaps are basically interest, so that's basically haram. And you only pay swaps if you hold the trade over a day, so if you don't do that, then it's totally fine.
So if you get a swap fee, it's haram?
Yeah, it's like interest, right? Like in Islam, it's considered like interest is supposed to be not good. So it's basically it's advised for people to not to take interest. But at the same time, when you get a mortgage, you're paying interest too, right?
Right.
Yeah, so this is a gray line.
Right, like smoking cigarettes, it's haram, but
people still smoke.
A lot of people still, yeah.
Yeah, I think the brokers are trying to really capitalize on it, right? Because they're like really hardcore Muslims out there, and they would get the swap-free account. So they'll get the swap-free account. So the thing about swap-free accounts is your spreads are higher and your commissions are more. Even though if you're not holding a trade over a day and you're not getting swaps, but they're capitalizing on that, So you can just take a regular account and not hold trades over a day, and things are going to be fine. Man, I think all this brokerage industry is here to make money. That's it. Because they saw that there are people out there who would want special accounts because of swaps. So they said, okay, we will give you swap free accounts because people don't know what swap is. That's the thing. They only know, oh, swap is haram. Okay, yeah, swap is bad. So broker said, okay, we'll give you a swap free account, but you will have to pay a higher spread and you'll have to pay a higher commission. And people are like, oh, okay, that's perfect. But once you really understand what swap is, and once you really understand what your trading plan is, and my trading plan is not to hold the trade over a day. So even if I go with a swap free account or like with a swap account, it doesn't really matter because I'm not getting that swap because I'm not holding a trade over a day. I think the only thing haram is overtrading. Overtrading should be punished by 100 lashes, man. 100 lashes on the back. You overtrade? All right, time to give you lashes today. Oh, take care, Arsh. Take care. Is the commission considered as interest on loan? Commissions considered as interest on loan? No. Commissions are basically the price you pay to execute a trade. That's the price you pay to execute a trade, to be able to execute a trade. And then you pay a spread. You know, a spread is the difference between the price the broker is getting and the price that they're giving you. So that then they're taking a cut. They're taking a cut from the trade you're taking. You know, so the brokers make money in two ways: commissions and spreads. That's it. Swap is basically, you know, that's basically not good. Are you praying 5 times a day? No. Why do you people love violence, lashes, etc.? I think that's a very targeted statement, so we're going to ignore that. I shouldn't think if you have a big capital, a good Forex robot should be more profitable and should give you more free time. I'm not sure. I think there are no Forex robots that bring in. I don't know. I just don't trust Forex robots. I've seen a lot of algos fail over the years, and I just don't trust that anymore. If you give one advice you wish for you when you started trading, what advice you will give? My one advice is going to be just focus on 1 or 2 trades a day. Because I'll tell you this, when I started trading, I was profitable from day 1. I did not have a losing week from day 1. For the first 2-3 months, I was very, very profitable. And there was one technique that we were doing, and that was we were looking at the 4-hour candles. Okay, let's take a look at 4-hour over here. Okay, so we're looking at the 4-hour, right? One technique. And this technique was that based on the 4-hour, what we would say is, okay, let's suppose that this is a 4-hour time frame. And we would see that, okay, if a 4-hour candle is going to come to a resistance, we would take a sell with a 10 pip stop and like a 10 pip TP. That's it. That's all we did. We looked across 10 pairs, we looked at the 4-hour time frames, and if the 4-hour candle would come to a resistance or a support, we take a sell or a buy, and if it was a win, it was a win. If it was a loss, it was a loss. We come back the next day. And doing this, I grew my $700 account to $5,500. And the only reason we started losing was that obviously, you know, some traders are losing trades because there's a probability of loss, right? But instead of accepting the loss, I started removing the stop losses. And the reason why I started removing the stop losses was because I started to do some extra technical analysis. Like I'd bring out my Fibonacci's or I'd bring out my Bollinger Bands, and I would say, oh, no, this will still go my way. I got to remove the stop loss. And that was the only reason I was losing. You know, but then I had to come back to 1 or 2 trades a day, and it started to work. It's a slow process. I'm not gonna lie. It's a very, very slow. It's an extremely, extremely slow process. But the exponential curve in profits it makes, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's like Bitcoin. Let me pull up Bitcoin over here. I give this example a lot to people of Bitcoin example over here. Where's Bitcoin? BTC USD. Oh wow, we're at 11,000 here. Okay, so if you take a look on the weekly here, so your profitability curve, it's kind of like Bitcoin. Let's go towards the monthly chart. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, right? So look, it went up to $300. It took it like a very, very long time. It was at $5, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 months, 6 months, moved to $6, $7. Just a very, very slow process. Trading is just like that. Extremely slow process, but once you get in the momentum of taking 1, 2 trades a day, giving it time, man, your whole, like everything just starts to change. Would you trade 4-hour candle or at a specific time every day? It was the 4-hour candle every time. It was a 4-hour candle at 1 p.m., 5 p.m., 9 p.m., 1 p.m., 5 p.m., 9 p.m. Did you try different strategies or stick to this one from day one? Did you use indicators before? Oh yeah. We used to use Fibonacci's, EMAs, Bollinger Bands, stochastics, MACD, RSI. There was this one time I was trading based on the divergence on RSI versus divergence on MACD. Madness, man. Madness.
Yeah.
And now when I look back, I'm like, what the fuck was I doing, man?
You forgot chart pattern. Head and shoulder.
I never got into that.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah.
What about Wyckoff?
No, I never got into that either.
God, back in the day, Roger, we did all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, now when I look at it, I'm like, wow, wasted so much time. But I think it was for the best.
You learn from your mistakes and evolve.
Yes, sir. That's absolutely true. I was having a conversation yesterday with somebody, and they were talking about, like, if you could change one thing in your life, what would it be? Just one thing, anything. And I thought about it long and hard, and I said to myself, okay, like, you know what? There's nothing I would change, because even if there was one thing I would change, I may not be where I am today. You know, with respect to thinking, personality, with respect to, like, you know, like financials, my social life, family life. You know, like every failure you have, I mean, if you've bounced from it, you're in a better place right now. So maybe you've learned something from it and stuff like that. So there was nothing I would want to change.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, man, think about it. Whatever happens, every little thing that has happened in the past has brought you where you are today. Every person you've talked to, you've spoken to, like I told my brother, right? So yesterday, so I was basically having this conversation with my brother, and he's like, you know what? If I could change one thing, it would be to get in the family business, and not going to school. And I'm like, okay, if you didn't go to school, maybe you wouldn't have the friends you have right now. Right? Maybe your whole social circle would have been different. So everything that you do in life, every little thing, it's changing the course of your future. It's amazing, but man, it's just so, I don't know, it just fascinates me. Every little thing just changes the whole course of your future. Do you like Jazzy B? I don't know. I don't know who Jazzy B is. What is the family business? I'm not going to name it, but we're going to be the biggest leather retail stores in Canada in the next year. Y'all need to trade with what works for you all. Try things, keep notes, eliminate what isn't beneficial, and succeed, and stop asking what's the best broker, what's the best pair. Yes, you got to put in work. You got to put in work. You got to put in work. Not as in like put in work on the charts, put in work on the time you have to look at the charts. I think that's what matters most. I mean, trading is just like working out. You know, when you go to the gym, you put in work in the gym. You go hard in the gym. So when you're on the charts, some people take it the wrong way. They're like, okay, we need to go hard on the charts. Going hard on the charts doesn't mean start over trading like a maniac. Oh, I'm going hard today. No. Going hard means just being focused. focused on waiting, focused on, like, look, right? We came through charts right over here, and price has just been ranging. There's nothing. It's Friday.
Can you name a maniac of trading? Do you have any friend?
Who's a maniac in trading?
Yeah. Look at his face. He's waiting for it.
Looks like Mac's gonna cry or something.
Oh man.
Okay, he's back. He's back.
Listen.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, maniac.
Oh, they're terrible.
It's hilarious.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
Oh.
I don't want to risk my profit. There's no nice setup today, so I'm out.
All right.
Camping for the weekend, Sasha?
I don't know. Picking up some leaves from my backyard. You know.
Oh, I got to do that too.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a shitload of leaves, man. I got like 5 big trees in my backyard, so.
Yeah. Do it, because if not, you're gonna catch fire.
Yeah.
Remember, when you don't rake the leaves, you're gonna catch fire.
Yeah, that's gonna be a relaxed weekend.
You have to go buy a rake first.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have one?
No, I just moved, so I'm buying everything new, you know, and so I need a rake.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Get the one at Costco. It's super huge.
Yeah, I'll see if I can write that off or something.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this man ain't gonna pay $1 in tax.
I bought this rake to rake dollars, you know, from trading. So.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that's a good one.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
They ask, man, that's how I pick up all my dollars from the floor.
Carowin with the strip club.
All right, good luck, guys.
Bye.
Right,
Good weekend.
You too, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What's this? Have discipline. Don't let the market get to your head. Learned this the hard way. I grew my account from $400 to $20,000 in July. August lost about 80%.
देता था कोई दूसरा बंदा बयान देता था कि हम ये करने जा रहे हैं. ये जहां तक मुझे पता था उससे जैसे आपको शक होता था हमसे शक होता था. जिस पे सिंध हुकूमत ने कहा ये आपका सरजमीन नहीं है, ये सिंध का सरजमीन है, हम आपके एंगेज करने को तैयार है. लेकिन अब जो उन्होंने एक गैर आईनी हमला किया है, इसके बाद हम एंगेज करने को भी तैयार नहीं हैं. मैंने आपके सामने जो इस सवाल के पहले जो मैंने हमारे अवाम के मुतालबात है वो भी उनके सामने रख लिया है. I can't emphasize enough कि ये कितना ही एक obnoxious move है. इनके पास ये इख्तियार ही नहीं है. वो क्या समझते हैं वो कि जिसकी जैसी उनकी मर्जी वो अपने बॉर्डर्स बना सकते हैं. दुनिया ऐसे नहीं चलता. और हमारा जो जियोग्राफी है वो हिस्टोरिकल जियोग्राफी है. वो इनका किसी ऑर्डिनेंस से ऐसे तब्दील नहीं होता.
चेयरमैन साहब, मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि हुकूमत में इतनी खामियां हैं, वफाकी हुकूमत में, लेकिन इसके बावजूद भी पीडीएम का जो इत्तेहाद है वो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के इलेक्शन में हिस्सा लेने जा रहा है. कहीं ऐसा महसूस तो नहीं होता कि उस इलेक्शन के बाद भी आप लोग फिर कहेंगे धांधली हो गई या कुछ हो गया?
जहाँ तक एक तो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान पे साफ और शफाफ इलेक्शन होना इज नॉट एन इशू फॉर कॉम्प्रोमाइज. गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में साफ और शफाफ इलेक्शंस होंगे, वरना ये हमारा मैसेज है, हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन है. हमसे सबके सामने, प्रेस के सामने, हर जगह हमने ये मुतालबा रखा है, साफ शफाफ इलेक्शंस होंगे गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में. अगर नहीं हुआ उसका कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ये हुकूमत और इनके सहूलतकारों को भुगतना पड़ेगा. मैं खुद गिलगित बल्तिस्तान जाऊंगा, मैं खुद मॉनिटर करूंगा, मैं हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जाऊंगा और मैं कोई भी गैर आईनी गैर जमहूरी काम बर्दाश्त नहीं करूंगा. ये साफ शफाफ इलेक्शंस होंगे, वरना इलेक्शन रात में मैं पूरा गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के साथ आके फौरन इस्लामाबाद बैठूंगा. मुझे किसी का इंतजार नहीं है. हम कब तक बर्दाश्त करें कि आप हमारा वोट पे डाका डालें? ہم کب تک برداشت کریں کہ ہم کسی کے کہنے پہ حکومت پائیں؟ گلگت بلتستان کے عوام کا مطالبہ ہے کہ وہ خود اپنے فیصلے کریں. گلگت بلتستان جمہوری لوگ ہیں. گلگت بلتستان اپنے انسانی حقوق کا پاسداری کے عوام انسانی حقوق کا پاسداری چاہتے ہیں. اور گلگت بلتستان میں اگر آپ صاف اور شفاف الیکشنز نہیں کر سکتے تو اس سے بڑا کوئی سیکیورٹی تھریٹ نہیں ہے اس وقت پاکستان کے لیے. یہ انٹرنیشنلی بھی ہمارے خلاف ایکسپلائٹ ہوگا. ہم برداشت نہیں کریں گے. یہ پاکستان کے انٹرسٹ میں نہیں ہے. پاکستان کے انٹرسٹ میں ہے, وہاں کے عوام کے انٹرسٹ میں ہے کہ آپ صاف و شفاف الیکشنز کروایا جائے. میں نے ایک گلگت بلتستان کے حوالے سے ایک براڈر پوائنٹ میں, نہ صرف گلگت بلتستان میں پورا ملک میں جو ہمارا سیاسی قیدی ہیں ان کو فل فور, ہم نے اپنے اے پی سی بھی مطالبہ کیا تھا کہ پورے ملک میں جو سیاسی قیدی ہے ان کو سارے سیاسی قیدی کو رہایا جانا چاہیے. they should all be set free. جو ہمارا لیڈر آف دی اپوزیشن ہے شہباز شریف صاحب ہے, اس کا گرفتاری کو بھی ہم نے مذمت کیا ہے. ہم سمجھتے ہیں کہ یہ حکومت جو شہباز شریف قائد حزب اختلاف کو نہیں برداشت کر سکتے ہیں, وہ ان کا چھوٹی سوچ ہے اور چھوٹے لوگ ہیں, اور جو ایک بزرگ ہے جن کے بہت سے بیماریاں ہیں, صرف اپنی سیاسی انا کی وجہ سے گرفتار کیا گیا ہے اور اس کو ریلیز کرنا چاہیے. خورشید شاہ صاحب جو پاکستان پیپلز پارٹی کا بہت سینئر کارکن ہے, جو بہت سے پاکستان پیپلز پارٹی کا رہنما سکھر سے سابق اگین اپوزیشن لیڈر نیشنل اسمبلی کا, آج تک جیل میں ہے. حکومت کے سہولت کاروں کو ان کو فوراً فری کرنا چاہیے. اور جہاں تک گلگت بلتستان ہے وہاں بھی ہم سمجھتے ہیں کہ آپ کیسے فری اینڈ فیئر الیکشنز کریں گے اگر وہاں بھی سیاسی قیدی ہوں گے. میں آپ کو 2 سیاسی قیدی کا ذکر کرنا چاہوں گا. ایک ہمارا اپنا جو پاکستان پیپلز پی ایس ایف پیپلز اسٹوڈنٹ فیڈریشن کا سیاسی کارکن جو 2005 پہ کوئی الزام لگا, کوئی انسیڈنٹ ہوا, اور پھر جو 2005 کا alleged کرائم پہ انہوں نے اس کو ملٹری کورٹس کے سامنے لے کر آئے. اب جو ملٹری کورٹس تھا بھی نہیں جب جرم ہوا, لیکن پھر بھی ایک سیاسی قیدی کو اپنے حقوق کے مطالبات کرتے ہوئے آپ اس قسم کے ظلم کرتے ہو. تو ممتاز علی خان جو پی ایس ایف سے تعلق رکھتا تھا 2005 کا انسیڈنٹ پہ, اور پھر 2015 میں جب ہمارا حکومت وہاں سے چلا گیا اور یہ ملٹری کورٹس کا نظام شروع کر دیا, تب اس کا کیس ملٹری کورٹس کے سامنے لایا گیا تھا. اور دوسرا ایک بابا جان ہے ہنزا سے, گلگت بلتستان کا علاقہ ہنزا سے تعلق رکھتا ہے, وہ بھی ایک سیاسی قیدی ہے. 2011 سے سیاسی قیدی رہا ہے. پاکستان پیپلز پارٹی کا جو پریزیڈنٹ ہے امجد ایڈوکیٹ صاحب, وہ اس کا لیگل مدد بھی کر رہا ہے, اس کا لائر بھی بنا ہوا ہے, اور وہ بھی وہاں کے عوام بھی احتجاج کرتے ہیں. اور ہم سمجھتے ہیں کہ اگر آپ نے صاف و شفاف الیکشنز کروانے ہیں تو صاف و شفاف الیکشنز کے لیے آپ کو یہ جو سیاسی قیدیوں بنانا, انسانی حقوق سیاسی کارکن کا پامال کرنا. آپ سوچیں کسی پی ایس ایف کا کارکن جو 2005 میں اپنا پورا مستقبل اپنا سامنے ہے, اب وہ اس قسم کے کیسز اور ظلم برداشت کر رہے ہیں. تو آپ یہ ہمیں اتنا برداشت ہونا چاہیے پورا ریاست میں, پورا حکومت میں, پورا ملک میں, کہ ہم ہر کسی کا سیاسی جو جس کا دوسرا رائے ہے آپ وہ برداشت بھی کر سکیں, ان کا تنقید بھی سن سکیں. تھینک یو. نواز شریف کا اور ہم سارے جو اس احتیاط میں ہیں, ہم چاہ رہے ہیں کہ اس ملک میں حقیقی جمہوریت ہو. حقیقی جمہوریت کیوں نہیں ہے اس ملک میں؟ حقیقی جمہوریت اس لیے نہیں ہے کہ ہمارے بہت سے ادارے, صرف ایک ادارہ نہیں, بہت سے ادارے نہ صرف اپنا ادارہ کا کام کرتے ہیں, مگر یا خود یا حکومت نے ان کو جو کام ان کا نہیں ہے اس میں بھی لگائے ہیں. जिससे पूरा रियासत को नुकसान हो रहा है, हर इदारा का को मुतनाज़ा बना रहा है। आप अगर हमारा जो इंसाफ देने वाला अदारा है, जो हमारा सुप्रीम कोर्ट है, जहाँ हर पाकिस्तानी को उसकी तरफ देखना चाहिए कि हमारा इंसानी हकूक़ का पासदारी किया जाएगा, हमारा जमहूरी हकूक़ का तहफ़्फ़ुज़ किया जाएगा, अगर वहाँ वो हमारा हकूक़ का तहफ़्फ़ुज़ देने के बजाय डैम्स बनाने उतर पाएंगे तो फिर वो मुतनाज़ा होंगे। वैसे ही जैसे इस माजी के इलेक्शन में जिस तरीके से हर पोलिंग स्टेशन के अंदर और बाहर पूरा मुल्क में फ़ौज को खड़ा किया गया था, जो कि ना ज़िया और हक के इलेक्शन में हुआ, जो कि ना मुशर्रफ के इलेक्शन में हुआ, हमारा समझ से बाहर है कि एक तरफ पाकिस्तान का फ़ौज का इंटेग्रिटी है, इनको गैर सियासी रहना चाहिए, गैर मुतनाज़ा रहना चाहिए, और दूसरी तरफ इमरान खान की इलेक्शन के लिए हर पोलिंग स्टेशन के अंदर और बाहर अगर आपने कुछ किया होगा या ना किया होगा, इल्ज़ाम तो आपने लगना था। तो ये हम समझते हैं कि हर इदारा को अपने दायरे में रहना चाहिए और इस तरीके से हर इदारा का फ़ायदा के लिए होगा, मुल्क का फ़ायदा के लिए होगा। और ये खुशायन बात है, अच्छा स्टेप है कि अब जो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं वहाँ इस किस्म का इनसाइड और आउटसाइड डिप्लॉयमेंट नहीं है, जिससे मेरा उम्मीद है कि इस किस्म का मुतनाज़ा इशू नहीं बनेगा। लेकिन हमें अपना जमहूरियत के लिए, हमारा जमहूरियत की जो सफ़र है उसके लिए हर इदारा को अपना काम करना पड़ेगा और हमें पार्लियामान की सुप्रीमेसी को मानना पड़ेगा।
मेरा सवाल आपके चेयरमैन साहब, बात यह है कि आला शख्सियत से मुलाकात के बाद आपका और मरियम नवाज का और फजल रहमान साहब का बिल्कुल जारहाना अंदाज हो गया है। क्या आला शख्सियत के बाद ग्रीन सिग्नल मिल गया? क्यों भी तहरीक चलती है उसमें कोई ना कोई ग्रीन सिग्नल तो लाजमी मिलता है।
एक तो हम ग्रीन सिग्नल की तरफ नहीं देखते और ना ही हमने माजी में देखा है। हम जमहूरी अंदाज में जमहूरी तरीक चलाते हैं और हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ अवाम की तरफ देखते हैं और अवाम की सिग्नल की तरफ देखते हैं। और अगर आप जिसको जैसे मुझे जो पता है, आपको ये अंदाज़ा होगा कि अवाम तो हमसे तंग आने शुरू हो चुके हैं कि आप कब इस हुकूमत के ख़िलाफ़ सही तरीके से सही अंदाज में निकलेंगे। हम समझाने की कोशिश भी करें कि कोविड कोई चीज़ है और हमने लॉकडाउन, वो उनका प्रायोरिटीज़ में ये है कि इस हुकूमत से जान छुड़वाए, इस हुकूमत ने हमारा जीना हराम कर दिया। भाई क्या कह रहा था? एक तो हर जमात का अपना सियासत होता है और हम अपना ही मंशूर को आगे लेके चलेंगे। मौलाना साहब का अपना मंशूर है, वो जिस अंदाज से और जिस तरीके से अपने मंशूर पे बात करेगा वो अपनी मर्ज़ी। मैं भी जब पीपल्स पार्टी के मंशूर पे बात करूँगा तो वहाँ मेरा सबसे पहला शिक तो ये होगा ना कि इस्लाम हमारा दीन है। फिर हम अपने जो जमहूरियत के लिए, इस्लामी मसवात के लिए ताकत का सरचश्मा अवाम है, तो हम अपना मंशूर पे चलते हैं, मौलाना साहब अपना मंशूर पे चलेगा। हम समझते हैं कि सियासत और मज़हब का they shouldn't be a mixing of politics and religion, इसलिए सियासत इतना इस लेवल पे पहुंच चुका है जहां हमें मज़हब का नाम ही नहीं लेना चाहिए। लेकिन मौलाना साहब अपना सियासत करेगा, हम अपना सियासत करेंगे। हमारा जो सिंगल पॉइंट एजेंडे है, जो हमारा कॉमन गोल्स है, वो ये है کہ اس ملک میں جمہوریت ہو, اس جمہوریت کے نتیجے میں ہم سب کا حقوق کا تحفظ ہو, اور پھر مولانا صاحب اپنا سیاست کرے گا, ہم اپنا سیاست کریں گے. انشاءاللہ حکومت کے خلاف تو جد و جہد کو کامیابی ہونا ہے, اس لیے اس ملک کے غریب عوام کی دعاؤں ہمارے ساتھ ہے, اور اس ملک کی غریب عوام کی دعا جو ہے اس میں سب سے زیادہ طاقت ہے. اس حکومت کو جانا ہی جانا ہے. اب ہمارا جو اپوزیشن جماعتیں ہیں ہمارے اوپر ہے کہ یہ کیسے ہوگا, کب ہوگا. تھینک یو.
بلاول بھٹو زرداری پریس کانفرنس کر رہے تھے, اس میں انہوں نے تنقید کا نشانہ بنایا اور ان کا کہنا تھا کہ ہم اپنے منشور پر چلیں گے, فضل الرحمان اپنے منشور پر کام کریں گے, سیاست اور مذہب میں تعلق نہیں ہونا چاہیے. مولانا اپنی اور ہم اپنی سیاست کریں گے, ایک ایجنڈے پر ساتھ چلیں گے.
اسی پر بات کریں گے. وفاقی وزیر مراد سعید ہمارے ساتھ موجود ہیں. مراد صاحب, بلاول بھٹو نے یہ کہا کہ ہم یہ برداشت نہیں کر سکتے کہ صدارتی آرڈیننس جو آپ نے رات کے اندھیرے میں جاری کیا وہ غیر آئینی ہے, اس آرڈر کو آپ واپس لیں, یہ غیر جمہوری ہے اور ہم اس پر بات بھی نہیں کریں گے. کیا کہتے ہیں آپ اس پہ؟
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. میں نے فرزند زرداری کو پہلے بھی کہا تھا کہ رٹا مارنے کے بڑے نقصانات ہوتے ہیں. رٹی رٹائی پریس کانفرنس کر رہے تھے, شاید بھول گئے تھے کہ 6 جولائی کو جو سندھ حکومت نے بنڈل آئی لینڈ کے حوالے سے خط لکھا تھا, ایک قسم کا NOC دیا تھا. تو میں آپ کو بھی دیتا ہوں, آپ اپنی ٹی وی اسکرین کے اوپر اس کو چلائیں تاکہ ان کا جھوٹ بے نقاب ہو جائے اور ان کا اصل چہرہ ایک دفعہ پھر قوم کے سامنے آ جائے. کیا اس منصوبے سے سندھیوں کو روزگار اور ترقی کا موقع نہیں ملے گا؟ میرا فرزند زرداری سے یہ بھی سوال ہے. کیا 6 جولائی کو آپ نے خط کے ذریعے وفاقی حکومت کو آگاہ کر کے NOC نہیں دیا تھا؟ میرا یہ بھی سوال ہے ان سے. باقی جمہوریت کا بڑا راگ الاپا جا رہا تھا, تو میں اس کے حوالے سے بھی چند سوالات کرنا چاہتا ہوں کہ کیا آپ کی سیاست کا آغاز ایک پرچی سے نہیں ہوا؟ وصیت کی پرچی لہرا کے آپ نے سیاست کا آغاز نہیں کیا؟ کیا نام بدل کر آپ نے سیاست کا آغاز نہیں کیا؟ تو نام بدل کر وصیت پر آنے والا کس قسم کی جمہوریت کی بات کر سکتا ہے؟ یہ تو خاندانی جماعتیں ہیں, قوم کو اپنا غلام سمجھتے ہیں, تو یہ بھی ان کا ایک اور جھوٹ اور اصل چہرہ قوم کے سامنے آ جاتا ہے. پھر گلگت بلتستان کے حوالے سے بات کی انہوں نے. میں سوال پوچھنا چاہتا ہوں کہ آپ ہی کی ریکمنڈیشن پہ اسپیکر قومی اسمبلی تمام جماعتوں کو گلگت بلتستان کے حوالے سے, عوامی مفاد کی قانون سازی کے حوالے سے, گلگت بلتستان کو بہترین مواقع دینے اور ان کے آئینی حقوق کی تحفظ کے حوالے سے اسپیکر قومی اسمبلی کی قیادت میں میٹنگ بلائی جاتی ہے, کیا آپ وہاں سے راہ فرار اختیار نہیں کرتے جس طرح کہ آپ پارلیمان سے بھی راہ فرار اختیار کرتے ہیں؟ پھر اس کے بعد انہوں نے وفاقی حکومت کی بارہا بات کی, یہ نہیں بتایا کہ جب آپ نے 5.5 کروڑ کا سوال کیا تھا کہ سندھ کی صحت کا پیسہ کہاں پہ خرچ ہوا, تو گندی کمپین, غلیظ کمپینی کی طرف سے نہیں شروع کی گئی. کیا اس وقت سب سے زیادہ غربت سندھ کے اندر نہیں ہے؟ کیا اسکولوں کی حالت سب سے ابتر اس وقت سندھ کے اندر نہیں ہے؟ کیا وہاں پہ تو باقی چھوڑے کراچی جیسے شہر کو انہوں نے کچرے کا ڈھیر نہیں بنایا؟ اور کیا پاکستان کی تاریخ کا سب سے بڑا پیکیج عمران خان نے 1100 ارب کا کراچی کو نہیں دیا؟ یہاں پہ بیٹھ کے روزانہ ان کو سمجھ نہیں ہے, ان کو پتا ہے کہ ان کی سیاست ختم ہو چکی ہے, ان کو جتنا بھی پیسہ آپ دے دے یہ اس پہ نہیں خوش ہوتے کہ سندھ کو لوگوں کو 33% احساس پروگرام میں حصہ عمران خان نے سندھ کے لوگوں کو دیا. یہ چاہتے ہیں کہ جس طرح ہم نے راشن کا پیسہ کھایا, یہ پیسہ بھی ہمارے ابو زرداری کے فیک اکاؤنٹس میں کیوں نہیں گیا؟ ہم نے کراچی کی ترقی کے لیے, کراچی کی خوشحالی کے لیے, قائد کے شہر کو کچرے کے ڈھیر سے صاف کرنے کے لیے 1100 ارب کا پیکج دے دیا, اس پر بھی خوش نہیں ہوں گے. سیاست کریں گے کہ یہ پیسہ بھی ہمیں دے دے تاکہ اس میں سے ہم فرزند زرداری کہتے ہیں کہ جعلی اکاؤنٹس میں ڈلوا دیں. پھر آپ جتنے بھی منصوبے یہاں پہ کریں گے, ان کو عوام سے کوئی سروکار نہیں, ان کو سندھ سے کوئی سروکار نہیں, ان کو صرف اور صرف اپنی کرپشن کی دفاع سے سروکار ہے. اور میں پھر قوم کو بتا دوں کہ کیا ہو گیا कि जब तक फेडअप का इजलास नहीं हुआ था ये सब खामोश थे। यहाँ पे हम कोरोना का मुकाबला कर रहे थे, ये बैठ के यही फर्जंदी सरदारी था जो रोजाना हमें ताने देता था कि वफाकी हुकूमत मोदी की तरह लॉकडाउन क्यों नहीं लगाती, बाकी चीजें क्यों नहीं करते। अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि WHO और दुनिया पाकिस्तान की आज मिसाल दे रही है। क्या इनको अखलाकी जरूरत इतनी थी कि आज माफी मांग लेते? क्या इतनी अखलाकी जरूरत थी कि आज वफाकी हुकूमत ने उस बहरान में कि आईनी तरमीम 18वीं तरमीम के बाद जो NFC के बाद सेहत सूबे का सब्जेक्ट है, लोगों की गुर्बत का खात्मा सूबे का सब्जेक्ट है, इनके पास फंड्स है, हमने मदद की, हम खड़े हो गए क्योंकि हमारे पाकिस्तानी हैं, सिंध के अवाम भी हमारे हैं। लेकिन उसको नसीब अपनी जो गलत पॉलिसी थी न उस पर माफी मांगी, न वफाकी हुकूमत की हिकमत अमली को अप्रिशिएट किया। एक ही मकसद है, फेडअप की कानून साजी हो रही थी, 34 नुकात का इन्होंने रिटर्न NRO मांगा, वफाकी हुकूमत ने NRO देने से इनकार किया, फिर उसके बाद इनको जमहूरियत भी याद आ जाती है। इनको 6 जुलाई का जो खुद तहरीर करता एक खत था, 6 जुलाई को 3 महीने बाद उनको बंडल आइलैंड भी याद आ जाता है। हर इशू के ऊपर सियासत भी आ जाती है। अल्लाह का लाख लाख शुक्र है कि पाकिस्तान आगे बढ़ रहा है और इनका जितना झूठ है, जितने ये लेक्चर देते हैं, जितनी तकरीरें करते हैं, इनका आवाम से कोई सरोकार नहीं है। आवाम को तो ये अपना गुलाम समझते हैं कि पहले बाप था, फिर उसके बाद पर्ची पर ये आया और पूरी जो पाकिस्तानी आवाम है इनकी गुलाम है। गुलाम नहीं है कोई। इंशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान में इस तरह जमहूरियत आगे बढ़ेगी, लोग अपने वोट का इस्तेमाल करेंगे, अपने नुमाइंदे चुनेंगे और इस तरह फर्जंदी जरदारी हमेशा रिजेक्टेड होगा और इनकी सियासत खत्म हो चुकी है। मैं तो इनकी बात के ऊपर यही कहूँगा।
बहुत शुक्रिया मुराद सईद साहब आपका।
खबरें और भी हैं, शामिल करेंगे एक ब्रेक के बाद।
तो फिर मिलने का सीन कब होगा? जल्दी बताओ, MBs ना खत्म हो जाए। कर्नेटो
अब MBs खत्म होने का नो सीन, सिर्फ लिंक फ्लिप करो, कोड माई टेलेनॉर ऐप में डालो और पाओ 500 MBs फ्री। अब कॉर्नेटो और टेलेनॉर के साथ सुबह से रात तक रहो कनेक्टेड नॉन स्टॉप, यानी मोर से ज्यादा MBs, मोर से ज्यादा लव।
रात ढूंढ रही है खो जान कहाँ, मैंने ढूंढ लिया उसके चेहरे पे यहाँ।
चांद सा रोशन होगा चेहरा लक्स से, जिसमें है 7 ब्यूटी इंग्रेडिएंट्स। चांद सा रोशन चेहरा लक्स।
मिस्टर फेक, प्रिंस, तुम्हारा ही तो इंतजार था।
जल गई।
जब आप हर काम में खड़ी हैं, तो इस मिट्टी भरे आम बार के चक्कर में क्यों पड़ी हैं? ले आए लेमन मैक्स बार, जली जमी चिकनाई काटे आसानी से। लेमन मैक्स बार, आपकी तरह काम में खरा।
अब सनलाइट 2-in-1 दे 100 ग्राम ज्यादा पाउडर।
इतना ज्यादा?
यानी ज्यादा सफाई बेहतरीन महक के साथ। सनलाइट 2-in-1 दे
इतना ज्यादा?
कोरोना वायरस मुख्तलिफ सतहों पर कई दिनों तक रहता है। डॉमैक्स कोरोना वायरस का खात्मा करता है सिर्फ 7 सेकंड में और सोडियम हाइपोक्लोराइड की ताकत से सतहों को वायरस से महफूज करता है। डॉमैक्स करे कोरोना वायरस का खात्मा।
आंटी, बाहर जैसी क्रिस्पी चिकन बनाने का कोई टोटका बताए।
2.5 घंटे तक से मसाले लगा, फिर मैदा, फिर सॉफ्रॉन लगा के।
टोटका आंटी और इनके 2.5 घंटे के टोटके। मजेदार क्रिस्पी क्रंची चिकन का टोटका, सिर्फ एक।
ऑल इन वन नया क्रिस्पी फ्राई, बनाना आसान बिना कुछ मिलाए। कोट, डिप, दोबारा कोट करके फ्राई करें।
क्रिस्पी क्रंची चिकन फटाफट तैयार।
इस क्रंच का
टोटका सिर्फ एक।
नया क्रिस्पी फ्राई, क्रंच का मजेदार टोटका।
विटामिन और प्रोटीन से भरपूर अंडे खाएं रोजाना, रहें तंदुरुस्त व तवाना। प्रोटीन फॉर लाइफ, सेलिब्रेटिंग वर्ल्ड एग डे, इंटरनेशनल एग कमीशन।
अल्ट्रोफ मक्का सिटी
मेन सुपर हाईवे की बेहतरीन लोकेशन DHA सिटी और कमांडर सिटी के नजदीक। बुकिंग के आगाज से साइट पर तेज रफ्तार तरक्याती कामों का आगाज हो चुका है। 120 गज का प्लॉट 12,50,000, माहाना किस्त सिर्फ 8,500 रुपए। बुकिंग और दीगर तफसीलात के लिए द रियल मार्केटिंग।
जल गई।
जब आप हर काम में खड़ी हैं, तो इस मिट्टी भरे आम बार के चक्कर में क्यों पड़ी हैं? ले आए लेमन मैक्स बार, जली जमी चिकनाई काटे आसानी से। लेमन मैक्स बार, आपकी तरह काम में खरा।
रियो ब्लूबेरी मैजिक, क्रंच, क्रीम और ब्लूबेरी का ट्रियो।
जो बढ़ती उम्र से नहीं घबराते हैं, वो ही लाइफ के मैच में बीमारी और कमजोरी को हराते हैं।
उम्र बढ़ने के साथ साथ मामूलाती जिंदगी मुश्किल तर हो जाते हैं। इसीलिए मैं रेकमेंड करता हूँ इंश्योर एक मुकम्मल और मुतवाजिन ग़िज़ा है जो बढ़ती उम्र की ग़िज़ाई ज़रूरियात को पूरा करता है।
आप भी डॉक्टर्स के मशवरे से रोजाना इंश्योर पिए, भरपूर जिंदगी जिए।
जब टेलीनॉर पे मिले मोर से ज्यादा टॉक टाइम और ऑफर्स, तो लगे रहो बिना टेंशन। टेलीनॉर 4G, जो हर पाकिस्तानी चाहे।
विटामिन और प्रोटीन से भरपूर अंडे खाएं रोजाना, रहें तंदुरुस्त व तवाना। प्रोटीन फॉर लाइफ, सेलिब्रेटिंग वर्ल्ड एग डे, इंटरनेशनल एग कमीशन।
दराज ला रहा है 10-10 पैसे। कोरोना वायरस मुख्तलिफ सतहों